still say 420, my dudes?
Of course.
Yeah, 420, my dudes.
It's 420, my dudes, somewhere.
Somewhere, and we're going to celebrate it right here.
On the Grow House Podcast.
That's right. So we do have a new name. Super exciting. It just will make it easier for you to find us. Our show's Grow House. We are Grow House. Friggin' last name's Grow. So that's the name of our podcast now.
But we're still all about that 420, my dudes lifestyle.
We are.
My dudettes. We don't discriminate. Dudes, dudettes.
Dudes, I think, is gender. It's without gender.
A lot of people be saying dudes.
Yeah.
Dude, come on.
Dude.
I've heard girls say that to girls. So it's all good.
Yeah. It's all good. As long as there's love in your heart and you say it with, like, positivity and
I think
good.
dude indicates a certain level of, like, admiration. You don't say to someone, like, dude. You don't say that to, like, a friend if you're trying to, like, get them to come correct a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't say that to, like, a business partner.
Or some snarky barfly.
Yeah.
Dude.
So today we have an assortment. So to signify Patrick's, he's on the mend right now. You got so sick, dude. After New Orleans. I
got so sick that I got a sick sore throat. Right, started out as a reggy sore throat. And then like my neck ballooned up on the left side, the sorest of the throat sides. But like, have any of y'all ever had a sore throat so bad that it swelled up like you had your wisdom teeth removed? It was gross.
Yeah, it was scary. The doctor actually thought that you had something wrong with a tooth.
Yeah, he's like, what's up with your teeth? I was like, they're fine.
Yeah.
I can't swallow.
He's like, oh, you just got NOLA'd.
You just got
NOLA'd. So in honor of that, I just have many smoking apparatuses for our podcast and to welcome you back into the fold.
Thank you.
We've got our little corncob pipe. Didn't really corncob pipe.
Corncob pipey.
We've got the blueberry, which we haven't smoked out of in a minute. This is a awesome little piece.
Oh yeah, I'm back in business when I can smoke again.
Yeah, this is a blueberry. I want you guys on Insta to see it too. This is the most fun pipe to smoke out of because it's a blueberry. It's so cute. You can smoke right there. I'll show you.
And then stay up because you got to show them this.
I do. This is
a little bitty tank.
This is a little tank.
A toot tank.
A toot tank, and it's a little bubbler for your joints. And I'll show you how to smoke this as well in a minute. But I like this because I have, every man in my family has served in the military. And that's true, and I'm very proud of that. And I love this. I thought this looked like it's a military tank. It's like World War II, just cool shit. So anyway, had to have it. Here, let me show you.
Liz is showing off the Instagram audience our little tanky wanky. But it's this beautiful little, it looks like a toy tank, but it's made of glass. It's very elegant.
It's cute.
And it's cute. And you stick a joint where the, I guess the gun would go, the big blaster. The joint becomes the blaster. And thus war becomes peace.
That's right, man. It's all about love, peace, love, and more love.
Thank you for the assortment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm happy you're feeling better.
Thank you.
It's not fun without you.
I was down. And, it's weird. I don't know if you get this, but, like, when you get sick like that and something sort of freak happens where it's like, oh, sore throat. Oh, my God, my face is swollen and I literally cannot breathe and swallow.
Yeah, and I'm knocking on 40's door.
Right. Do you ever think, but do you ever get those, like, what if this is it? You know what I mean? You start to kind of come to terms with morality real quick, even just with the little things. You're like, oh, shit.
Morality or mortality?
A little of both.
Hey, I'm about to die. Might as well do some things that never thought I should.
Bucket list.
Yeah, totally.
But you start to just be like, oh, man, I could die from this. Because people die. You know what I mean? Like you hear of someone checking into the hospital for a ache in the ribs and they die.
Yeah, we're all going to go some way.
Yeah.
So, naturally in your mind, you're like, it's going to be some freak ass way.
Oh, yeah.
Like I live my life.
A throat abscess.
Oh.
That's what he said.
Oh.
Remember
That's
you?
not what the diagnosis was, but that was the threat.
That's what he said. I remember the
Like a
doctor.
quick throat abscess.
Abscess these nuts.
God. Guys, it's scary. It's real scary when your life partner and your soul partner is walking around with a gullet. A half gullet.
I had a pelican's half gull.
Thank God we shaved your face, though.
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
weeks ago.
Because it would have looked weird with like a beard.
Yeah, it would have been weird with the beard. Or we maybe wouldn't have seen it with the beard, is what I'm saying.
Wow.
You know? Like...
Someone's looking out for us, babe.
Yeah. Bearded men out there. All of you beautiful bearded men.
Check your neck.
Check your neck. Ladies with beautiful bearded men. Men with beautiful bearded men. Check your beautiful bearded man.
Yeah, just give them a little pruning.
Yeah. Feel them out. Feel those glands. See what's going on.
Yeah.
Good.
Heck of a ride this
Great
past
ride.
week, though.
Yes.
Forget the sickness. Before that, we was in NOLA. Some tip. Some trip.
Oh God, New Orleans is in the soul, man. It was the best, one of the best. I think marijuana conferences we've been to. I mean, nothing can touch Hall of Flowers. Let's just say that Hall of Flowers
Nothing
is going to be in its own category for now, because of that amazing just the setup. Like, you cannot beat Santa Rosa County Fairgrounds and the way that they did it, and the consumption park, you know, in the middle of all the action, and
Right.
and the DJ and the food and the people.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It's beautiful.
It was great. But MJ BizCon next in NOLA. Let's talk about that.
Doing a business con in a prohibition state. I love it.
Business Con, well, it's not totally prohibition.
They have
There's a
medical
program.
Right.
But the patients don't have any way of sourcing their medicine safely. So that's kind of a bummer. But the cool thing about it is just New Orleans is so celebratory, and cannabis is so celebratory. Like,
Right.
if
That's a good point.
You know, like, this industry is, if you're in the industry, you know, you're nodding your head. You're probably taking your second rip of the day, just loving your life. If you're not, let us tell you that the people running this industry are happy people, right? And just celebration is in soul from morning to night. And so put that together with NOLA, and it's like, bye.
I mean, it
Au revoir.
have you
Mon
ever?
chéri.
Mon chéri, au revoir.
It was amazing.
Goodbye now. Dude, I just love the Louisiana people.
Yeah.
I love
that Cajun accent.
I love that accent, though. They, I mean, that bayou life, that party parade life, like,
Dude.
It's a beautiful blend of culture, and people they just love to party.
Yeah.
Like, and what I love is that there's no pretension, about dancing. Like, people dance. I love that.
Yeah. People, dance anywhere and everywhere. If there's music on, you know, you see them moving, and it's really, really cool. I mean, it's an old city. You know, that's the thing. That city's got soul. It's a very, very old city. You know, it's not without its struggles, right? Just like any other city. But, you know, New Orleans is in a kind of a special place, and
lots of ghosts.
Lots of ghosts, lots of ghosts, lots of fear that, you know, too much water will come one day.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost like, hey man, let's party and enjoy it while we can. You know, a lot of those places, you know, in the French Quarter particularly, you can't do a lot with, because it's just on such unlevel, kind of shaky ground that, like, can't support big, you know, modern freaking machinery to come in and make things stronger or fortify foundations,
right?
Build on top.
It's
of
in constant construction. It seems like
constant construction. Yeah.
But like, to fix things, little repairs on each street.
Yeah.
But it shuts down traffic and.
Yeah, man, Bourbon. Okay, so Bourbon was in a special place last week when we were there. I'd been many times previously for work. I love New Orleans. I used to live in Louisiana. Shout out to DeRitter.
DeRitt.
What's up, DeRitter?
That's what you get in DeRitt.
But so there's always, you know, was just hella construction for the past couple of years. This year, it seems like, this last trip, it feels like they finished a ton of the construction. But then there's that one intersection and I can't. It's just south of Lafitte's. Right, just and we were. What was kind of crazy is we were in Lafitte's. We were in Lafitte's in exile, right? Because it's June, and we needed to get our gay bar on.
Had to. Yeah, it was Pride Month.
Gay bar on, like in a city that's really embraced, the LGBTQ community.
Right.
Early on, we needed to just kind of immerse ourselves in that for a minute. So we were hanging out on the balcony there and having a great time, kind of heckling people, but there wasn't that much traffic because just one block up was the last bit of the construction, and it was just kind of blocking the flow, so we could see beyond the construction and see the parties, and it was cool. It was nice, and it was kind of quiet. I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't like the rambunctious. We didn't see it. I mean, it was just crowds weren't at a rambunctious level.
No, and I also think it's because it was 10, 11.
Right. That's true. Well, even when we went out
midnight.
Even when we were out at night, running around, it seemed like the city was a little bit more quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, just quiet days.
Yeah, man, it was nice though.
You know what I love about musicians in New Orleans? We saw this really rad brass band, remember, and just went ham on the floor,
Nice.
And they just rocked the crowd. But what I love about brass bands there. It seems like they're more in it for the love of the music and the love of what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they played a 2-hour set, and afterwards just hopped off stage and were hanging with people. It seems like just the way that they care about the entertainment and the music itself, the experience it seems like I don't know, more wholesome. I can't explain it, but they're just connected to it in a different way.
Yeah. I have a theory, okay, that because I totally get what you're saying, and I feel that. It's this just kind of communion almost between the musicians and the audience.
Right.
And I think that the audiences are different in NOLA. Right?
Oh, yeah.
The freaking spectators. They
want to eat it up.
Yeah. It's a good vibe. There's a different kind of respect, maybe.
Playful, yeah.
More playful, more just, appreciative. Thank you for keeping us dancing. And then we're from Austin, and we've got amazing musicians in Austin.
Yeah.
I mean, next level musicians in Austin, for sure.
For sure.
But I see what you mean. Sometimes when we see our favorite musicians take the stage, they're not as relaxed. They're not as fucking tuned in.
Yeah.
And we know some of these people, and they are everything masterful.
Right.
Right. And there are times when they're more comfortable. So I don't know. I think there's just there's this relationship between the audience.
Reciprocity. The audience gives what the band needs, and they take it from there.
And those tip jars are fucking full in NOLA.
Yeah.
Let me just say, y'all, if you go out for live music anywhere, and let me get on my soapbox.
She's on it?
I'm on it. And if you go for live music anywhere,
soap it up.
And you're you're spending money on a ticket, you're not spending money on a ticket, that musician needs feedback from you. That feedback is not the ticket that you bought. That feedback is in real time with money. Bring a bunch of ones. Bring 10 ones with you when you're out, right? And those 10, and it's not a lot, right? Start there. If you don't bring money, if you have more to give, freaking give more.
Right.
It's showing them your appreciation. They don't have, a lot of them don't have easy access to health care. Those of us, who maybe, have those corporate jobs and enjoy that comfort, right? They make our lives happier.
Right.
They help us in so
Gotta
many
support
ways.
your artists.
Support your artists, and that means money.
It really does. It really does. You want to support an artist? Buy their shit.
Give them money.
You're right. Or give them, throw them bills in that
merch, man.
Tip jug.
Speaking of merch, I see you're wearing a very, very cool shirt today.
Just the Mary J. Mary J,
can you turn around and
yeah.
I want to see that.
Awesome.
I want to show that off.
Boom.
Boom. This is Mary J. Smoke Culture. They are from Austin, Texas. Actually from Cali. Two of our just favorites in the cannabis community right now who are...
I hope I didn't have plumber's crack. I just realized. Boom. Plumber's crack.
Boom. Hashtag plumber's crack. Yeah, dude, they're doing such amazing things. They're educating our community, and so we're so grateful for them. As everybody knows, Texas, it's a prohibition state. There's a very, very small sliver of our population who are able to get, have access to low THC flower for their, for their needs, seizures. I'm trying to think of the actual diagnosis because it's actually one diagnosis for which you are able to...
Epilepsy?
Yeah, it's epilepsy, but it's a certain form of epilepsy.
Bad epilepsy.
Dude, bad epilepsy. Typically occurring in kids. And 2 traditional treatments must have had failed in Texas before you can get access to medical
Think
cannabis.
about what that even means. There's probably a trial period for like those failures. Like try this medicine and like for 2 months.
What is
try
that,
this
10
try
seizures?
try this medicine for 2 months.
Yeah.
Like it could be, before you have those fail safes.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It really is. It really is. And it's...
I want stats on people who have made it through those 2 tests to get theirs and see how it's affecting them now.
Yeah, where's the research? We don't know.
Where's the love?
Find it. Where's the love is a good fucking question.
Where's the love?
I'm not feeling it from Texas.
No. Making it hard for people.
We recently expanded the Compassionate Care Act. So yay, more access to medical marijuana. Thank you, Jesus. But you have to have a terminal illness. You have to be terminal to have access to medical marijuana.
Dying? Knock yourself out.
I'm terminal. I don't know about you.
We
but
all
I'm
dying. We all terminal. We all dying.
This morning I thought I was dying 3 times.
Really?
And then I took a hit.
Tight.
No, but you know what I mean?
Well, dude, I thought I was dying with this gullet.
Oh, I know.
Pelican gullet disease.
I know.
But wellness is wellness, and we let's not fool ourselves. Ain't none of us getting out of here alive, as my dad would say. And so let's live it up, and let's not friggin' block ourselves from the good from the good stuff.
From the good stuff, from the natural stuff.
Yeah.
From the stuff that we've been, like, we got here. None of us fucking chose to get here. And none of us are going to choose when we leave.
Yeah.
I think that was a Willie Nelson quote.
It was a Willie Nelson quote. And also.
Why are we denying ourselves this plant? Yes.
No, I agree. It is a Willie Nelson quote, but.
I'm about to spark this, and I'm going to do it.
Spork
so
it.
Close out.
Remember, they can't hear you if you're up there. But do it. Just,
We'll talk soon. I gotta go do something.
I'll narrate. What I wanted to say is the theory of I love that when you said ain't none of us choose to get here, because what if we have? What if we had a chance as a soul being before we entered this mortal coil, to look at our life and be given the choice, like, okay, do you want to jump in here and make this run? Almost like hitting the slopes. I kind of love that theory, and we just watched a TV show on Netflix that sort of explores that theory called. What was it called, babe? What was the Netflix show we saw? With Olympia Dukakis.
Oh, Tales from the City.
Tales from the City.
Tales in the City?
Tales of the City?
I don't know. You gotta hit this though.
Okay.
Super fun.
Yeah. Choo choo.
And I think
Locking target.
Do it.
Whoa,
Rip it.
that's fun.
Right?
I love that.
I do too.
I feel like I'm
Hold on.
fighting. I'm a love soldier, and
Yeah.
I'm blasting out positive rays, man.
You are. Lean in there. Lean in there.
Lena Dunham.
Lena Dunham, baby.
I
love her. Yeah, Tales of the City. Tales of the motherfucking City. On Netflix. It's limited time only.
Whatever that means.
Well, June, I think, for Pride.
You know what else
It's crazy.
the limited run stuff where they front load it with some sort of A-list people, could be like to sort of give it that movie theater vibe where it's like gotta rush home to see it, or gotta make sure I see it in a certain time frame. Kind of testing that with TV and A-listers.
Isn't it cool that we discovered it when, like, right when we learned that, like, you were sick? And it's one of those things, like, you can try to plow through and then it lingers for about 10 days, a week, or you can just sit your ass down on the couch, feel sorry for yourself and, like, get better. Commit to be hydrated, commit to fucking sleep, and self-care. And so we did that, and we burned through the entire season.
10 eps. Which I don't think we've done that. Just a binge out.
No, we haven't. It was cool. So it reminded me at times of Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah.
PLL. Any PLL fans out there?
There's a little splash of Gilmore Girls. Am I crazy to just drop that in there?
And Melrose Place.
And a little Melrose Place, yeah.
Lots of hotness. Lots of hot women. Lots of hot men.
Lots of hot men.
I'll tell you this.
With men, it was very San Francisco.
Yeah. No, I mean, there was just lots of sex, men, women.
It will celebrate your Pride Month, right?
Dude, there was the best wedding that I've ever seen. I'll just say that. Best wedding I've ever seen, hands down.
Yeah, San Francisco. They portray a San Francisco wedding.
It's from that LGBTQ perspective for sure. It was cool. Yeah, it was very cool. It made me miss San Francisco though a little bit. Mm-hmm. Just the celebratory side of it.
Yeah.
And so every time I'm in New Orleans, I feel like I think about San Francisco because of the celebratory, just the vibe about New Orleans. And it's like every day. But San Francisco taught me how to party on Sundays. Taught me how to be like, wait, what am I depressed about again?
Yeah.
Because Monday.
Yeah.
No, I partied harder than ever before.
Sunday is when the party starts.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right?
It's Sunday fun day. Makeshift ashtray right here. That's why you drink coffee and smoke weed. It's very efficient.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, very nice. So, Tales of the City, amazing. Everybody go see it. Pride, June. I mean, do what you can to spread the love. That's how we see it.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's just what it's all about. Talk to me about your feelings on MJ BizCon next NOLA.
Just feelings in general. Well,
feelings, emotions.
Okay, so yeah, back to that. I loved it, and I think that it was a very productive conference.
Right?
People were doing deals.
They were connecting.
They were connecting.
Do you think that's the energy of that NOLA? Sort of like, let's go out.
Hustle.
Like the after parties, people were hustling. Dude. Like it was so much fun. There was no bones about what people were there to do, and no one was acting cool. Like, whereas other cons, sometimes you've got like the after party where people are a little bit more poised, and this is what I do, and trying to like poise at what they do, or sort of play at like how good it all is.
Yeah.
And dude, at this conference, it's like, dude, this is what I'm doing. This is business. Here's my business card. That sounds awesome. Like,
yeah. Like this is exactly.
And it wasn't necessarily in a country accent, but it felt good to do.
It did. And there were a lot of country accents there.
We met the biggest, old Duke Distro. Van Vandergriff.
God, are you kidding me?
And the Colt and the Distro crew and the Duke crew.
Duke Distro crew, shout out, my God. So we
those are some rootin' tooters.
Rootin' tooters, man. We came rolling in hot, and I'm very proud to. I just want to give you a shout out, Patrick Pope. The conference started Wednesday. We rolled in Thursday morning because of course there's a direct flight from Austin, which is great. But we've got a summer schedule, our summer custody schedule, if you will, co-parenting schedule is kind of different, and so we're all having to kind of shift things. And V went back to her dad's on Thursday morning, so we kissed our baby goodbye, went to the airport, flew to NOLA, and went straight to the conference.
Right.
And so we're rolling in. We had
what do you guys travel in? You know, we travel in like tights, like leggings and sweatshirts and grow house stuff. And so we come rolling in, and we're going to change in the bathroom at the conference center, and Duke Distro freaking heads us off at the pass, and they were like, grow house, we love you.
That was really cool.
So
like
nice.
At first I thought it was people we'd met before, but then I realized like, oh shit, these guys just recognize us for whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
Which is always kind of a, oh shit, we are throwing it out there. We are throwing stuff out there. Like,
we're not just talking to ourselves. There are awesome freaking people that we are talking to as well, and who are listening.
Yeah.
And maybe not talking back yet. So
anyway, they're great. They have a really cool take and angle on the
Yes.
market. They've got some great CBD products, and
Yes.
and they're trying to do big things with the rodeo.
Dude.
Because he used to be a rodeo cowboy,
yes,
right? He was like going to college for rodeo.
he got a rodeo scholarship, and his name is Duke
Duke, I think it's
Duke.
Van Vandergriff.
Van Vandergriff.
Yeah,
The Duke, but
Yeah.
people call him Duke.
Yeah, well-
see, that's what I'm saying. With
Van the Duke
with
Vandergriff.
Texas boys, with Texas rodeo men and women, with rodeo hotties, as I like to call y'all.
rodeo hottie.
You don't get their story you can't get their story in less than, I'd say, maybe 6 months.
Yeah, you got to
But
get.
then you got to put the time in.
They like to talk about their past, and they make it sound like a book,
Dude.
like a Larry McMurtry book.
It's amazing, and we are. First of all, I think we need to just do daily. We need to check in and just say hey, because it was just such an uplifting shot in the arm.
Yeah.
He's in Cali now, and his company's in California now. He moved to California 2 years ago, and I'm going to put a pin in that, and it's called Texas Brain Drain. I'm going to go ahead and start that hashtag. Texas Brain Drain, okay? But he moved to Cali 2 years ago to start this business, and I don't want to go too far into his story. He's got to tell it himself, and he will.
Right.
Because we're going to do some really cool things with Duke Distro and Grow House. So stay tuned. But yeah, man, like his story and his enthusiasm for what we're doing in the
Yeah.
industry is just so freaking cool.
Yeah,
You know, but
it's inspiring.
yeah, but there are a lot of amazing Texans doing amazing things, and they needed to leave Texas
Yeah,
to do those things.
sucks.
And that is bullshit.
Yeah,
Texas brain drain.
takes a brain. Don't drain the brains.
Which drain? I mean, the collective knowledge of Texas gets diminishes when we lose these people who are helping to build this industry of wellness. You know, this man is in CBD. You know, that's the non-psychoactive component to cannabis, the cannabis plant, my friends.
Yeah.
CBD is our friend. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And you do not feel it in your brain. You feel it in your body,
Right.
right? And that's what he is committed to, and his company is committed to. And he felt he had to leave Texas to build this industry and achieve his dream. Marvin Washington also.
Yeah.
You know, we interviewed him in NOLA, and you know, he said straight out, I'm not coming back to Texas. You know, he went to Kimball. He went to high school in Kimball. He probably still has many records
Yeah.
at Kimball High.
I bet.
He had 40 and a half sacks in the NFL.
Whew.
Okay? Marvin Washington.
He's a serious man.
I stared into his eyes so hard, and I really wanted to just like get lost.
Yeah.
You know, he's a warrior. He was a modern warrior. You know, I personally just have a thing for football and football players. And that sounds, it not to make it sound like it's like a sexual thing at all. It's like, I really love football. I went to Notre Dame, and so that's just kind of part of the culture. It's weaved in the fabric. And it's just such a special part of I think that part of, you know, my life, those formative years. And football is just it's this massive billion-dollar industry. And these men are warriors, and we're making so much, it's just such a massive industry, and it brings so much happiness. So why can't they get weed, you know? So I just wanted to, like, stand next to him and hear his story, and it really makes me sad that people like Marvin Washington, legends like Marvin Washington, who are committed to getting CBD to athletes. Okay, again,
Get hassled.
yeah, we're not talking. I mean, naturally, we want to expand access to everyone, especially those athletes. That's what Athletes for Care is doing. He's a major part of that organization. He actually invited me to be a part of that organization.
That's awesome.
I mean, that was such an honor. Thank you for talking to me today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so what do you want to talk about? Isidol, Athletes for Care.
Talk about
MJ
cannabis
BizCon.
and just talk about athletes and cannabis. I'll
Yeah.
follow your lead.
Yeah, athletes and cannabis. I mean, it's really amazing to me how I think the first few people that really embraced what we're doing in this industry, which is the media side of things, have been the athletes. You know, Mike James is one of those people who instantly, when he met us, he got that we are trying to bring our message to the mainstream, right?
Yep.
And like Athletes for Care is just really doing that from an amazingly powerful angle. Like,
Well, athletes, we got a big platform, and we can bring light to any issue that we get behind. And this is something that particularly football players, because that was the base of Athletes for Care,
yeah,
starting this, making the awareness of the medicinal benefits of the plant
Yeah.
versus the opiates and benzodiazepines and pharmaceutical that they poison football players with. And it's splintered off into some other things, but some of the like godfathers, some of the original guys was 4 or 5 years ago were Ricky Williams, and Cal Turley's here with this brand. He has it over here. So they were at the forefront, and then I came in, and since then, you know, we're getting more and more guys to not only raise awareness of the medicinal benefits of cannabis, but also get rid of the negative stereotypes and connotations that are associated with the plant.
Right.
You know, everybody wants to think days and Cheech and Chong and all that reefer madness stuff when they think about cannabis, but I think of it as medicine.
absolutely, absolutely. You know, it's shocking to me how many people I know are, you know, successful, hardworking. They're cannabis users, but they still won't talk about it. They love
Well-
the plant, and it's very private to them. But it's like we need to get more people just being open about the fact that I incorporate cannabis daily for my wellness.
Well, when you
know?
look at it, I call it being in the green closet, because you look at where the LGBTQ community was a few years ago.
Oh my God,
And now
yeah.
you see where it is. So that's going to happen with cannabis. But so the more people that come out, and don't be embarrassed by something that, you know, that is making you feel better, because everybody,
Yes.
I don't know anybody that gets high just to get high.
Right.
Everybody gets high to feel better.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
that's what we have to get rid of, and I think it's going to come, because when you look at it, like when Colorado and Oregon went off in 2012 and did legal adult use, well, that's only 7 years ago, and that's
Right.
like the Wright brothers taking off a Kitty Hawk. You know, that was only 7 years ago, so we're still basically
Wow.
pushing the plane down the runway. So this thing is going
Yeah.
to come into a mature industry, because to me, we're just a movement with an economy behind us.
Right.
But it's going to come to an industry, and I believe, like an adult use, leave that to the people, and they usually pass it. But medically, I think it should be in every medicine cabinet in America.
It absolutely should, and it absolutely should be afforded to our athletes who, you know, put your physical health on the line to truly entertain us and
Well-
to bring us, you know, that joy that we feel, you know, as fans, you know.
Well, speaking like of contact sports like hockey and football, you know, they have an issue, particularly with the NFL. They have two issues: the head trauma
Yep.
and the opiate addiction of their players due to their bodies being beat up and crashing into each other. Well, number one, cannabis is an antioxidant and neuroprotectant for the brain. And I didn't say this. The NIH, our government, says this with the patent that they hold, 6630507. And number two, it's a great, CBD is a great anti-inflammatory. So this could solve the NFL's issue, can solve hockey's issue, can solve wrestling issue. So we're going to get there.
Yeah.
Progress is being made.
Yeah. I just it doesn't feel like it's fast enough, but you know, it's baby steps.
Baby
We're pushing
steps.
that plane. We're trying to get out of the green closet. I love that.
You know,
I mean, like it's like you know, there's like vines hanging down.
It's happened. I always tell everybody it's going to happen slowly, then all at once.
Yeah.
And just think how far we've come in 7 years. I never thought, when I got in it's like 5 years ago, that we'd be having a cannabis conference in Louisiana, and Louisiana would have a medical marijuana program.
Yeah.
Nobody would thought that, but it's happening state by state.
Yep.
And it can happen either economically, and you show them the economic benefits of it, or you show them the medicine of it, or the medicinal benefits of it. So those are the two tracks that it's going to make it acceptable all over the country, including Texas, and I'm from Texas.
We want you back. We want you back. We want you back. We're doing what we can. We're going to stay there, okay, and try to infiltrate from inside, and help move some laws. But thank you for doing what you do, and I want to stay in touch, and I want to be a part of Athletes for Care.
I'm going to hook you up.
I wasn't a professional. I was a non-revenue generating sport. I ran track.
You were still an athlete.
But those football players always were trying to race me. I tell you what,
Did you beat him?
Bobby Howard, we know what happened in that 60. He tried to say 40. I was like, no, 60. He's like, okay, I got you, Bobby. I got you. Yeah, and I Justin Tuck. So I graduated in 2002.
Okay.
MND.
Yeah, I know Tuck.
So those are some of the guys who went in the league and made it. And it's just those are my friends and worked so hard. Not just with academics, college is hard, but y'all, you put your body on the line, and to deny a natural remedy, deny that is just, I can't. It's
the whole thing is
not
it's
okay.
like these guys and everybody, all the athletes, they went to college, they carried the full load. A lot of them graduated and medicated with cannabis.
Yeah.
So that will get rid of that stereotype that you're lazy, makes you lethargic, makes you unmotivated, unfocused, all this stuff. That's not true. We know that's not true. So we got to get out and get the word out.
Right.
And instead of being here preaching to the choir, we need to take it to the masses.
Exactly. And that's what we're trying to do. So thank you.
Thanks
so
for having
much,
us.
to just get that invite. And, we know Solomon Page is a part of Athletes for Care. Our friend Mike James is part of Athletes for Care. And it's like, why can't our athletes, these people who are entertaining us, like, let's be honest, we love watching them. They inspire us.
Right.
We bet. We make money sometimes, do you play fantasy football? Are you betting in your pool? I do. It's great. I haven't for many, many years, but what the frick ever, Why can't these dudes get CBD all the time?
Yeah.
Why can't they smoke weed all the time?
It's insane.
It's crazy. So, anyway.
It's not right. They don't have that right.
No.
They need that right.
Yeah, totally. So we got to have those conversations in NOLA. We got to, oh my God, your conversation with Joy Beckerman.
Really awesome.
She's a goddess of hemp.
Loved it.
American hemp.
She is a wild knowledge data chip that if you plug it into your computer, you know everything you need to know. She's insane. It was like plugging into the Matrix. You're like, I know jujitsu.
What was that like interviewing her?
It's like watching someone that like you could like, you ever seen like a college professor that when they talk, like you just listen and you kind of learned everything you needed to know about what they taught because of what they just said, because they were that captivating. She's just captivating.
Yeah.
It's like watching someone who is so passionate and so knowledgeable about something that she makes it, the cause, the thing, seem like a force. So like when she talks about it, it's like, whoa, this is a force of nature that I'm unaware of. And like, I thought I knew some shit about hemp, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just like, it was an onslaught of knowledge and passion.
Yeah.
It's really cool to be around. I mean, if you don't walk away from a conversation like that, a little bit more fired up about the possibility of planetary change and hemp, then you don't have a soul. You know what I mean?
Dude, amen.
Yeah.
Seriously. It was like I was designing our hempcrete home in my mind
Right?
before she got off stage.
Right?
Okay?
Yeah. And it's it's really interesting. She's so eloquent about points. She just has so many just everything she says is a point, and I don't think it's meant to be that way. She's just passionate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's there
You-
is
you
no
very s-
script.
yeah.
You know there is no script.
Yeah.
And that was the cool thing in watching
Yeah.
her too. We see a lot of keynote speeches. We meet a lot of just wildly intelligent people. But she was like, dude, she was really powerful.
An expert,
Really powerful.
a passionate expert. I mean, you don't meet many of those.
No.
You know what I mean? In
And
your
nice.
lifetime.
Nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
And when you think about humanity, like those are typically the most historic, you know, the passionate specialist. You know what I mean? They're the people who change shit or move cultures, you know?
I just took that hit from the blueberry for
Yeah.
joy. Thinking about joy.
Nice.
She's amazing.
I think
Yeah.
she had a blue dress on in the interview.
She did have a blue dress on.
And we were against a blue backdrop.
It was beautiful. It was like we could not have, you couldn't have designed that set better
Yeah.
if you tried. And then you two were geeking out over nanotechnology.
Nanotechnology and hemp, that's a thing.
Oh, yes.
Hemp,
Well, nanotechnology is the thing.
well, hemp
But
being
then
able to
as
produce
applied.
hemp being able to produce nanotechnology is really what it is, because of the way they can repurpose hemp fibers. It can like make nano water slicking. What? What? I was just like, what?
Joy.
Patrick.
I want to say, first of all, your inspiration, your positivity, your presence in this industry can be felt, even just like physically close or like from miles away. Thank you for everything you do.
I will receive that and thank you back. And that plant is one inspiring thing.
Yes.
Once the more you start to know about it, the more you get excited about it.
Absolutely.
It's here to serve us.
Yeah, we say often the power of the plant can bring us all together. Tell me, what has got you the most excited about in terms of what's got you the most inspired right now with hemp?
Well, I mean, I think today it's the same thing that inspired me 30 years ago, and that is the planetary healing potential for hemp. In fact, when I was first even learned about hemp, it was frankly at a Grateful Dead show in Massachusetts in 1990.
As it happens.
Yes, well, it's so much I learned at those shows. It really, a book had been written, The Emperor Wears No Clothes, in the late 80s, which was a tremendous research project that went through our nation's archives and libraries to dig up the history that existed here, and then it got put into this book with photocopies. And then those photocopies were turned into flyers that were distributed throughout the Grateful Dead tours. And so
brilliant.
is what happened. And actually a lot of alternative information was spread through the Grateful Dead tours. It was really, it's builder of the counterculture and planetary healing movement, but certainly hemp was. And when I first read about it, I read that flyer and I saw that there was this incredibly versatile plant with all of these planetary capabilities that help build the soil and take such less inputs than most other crops, and it was illegal. This convergence of a sense of planetary healing with injustice came together, and it really altered the trajectory of my life. So it's the planetary healing capabilities. It's the ability to replace all of these toxic chemicals and materials with a fast-growing, renewable, organic resource.
Right. Hemp, I believe, is a hero, or I believe cannabis is a hero right now. And as technology rises and all these new social media platforms are plugging us in and getting our brains centered around something very technological, I feel like the plant is rising up and speaking. And it's just, I think it's speaking through you. I can feel it right now.
It's speaking through, I mean, because when you said that, all my hair stood up on ends, and you
Yes.
get it. It's speaking to you too.
Yes.
I can tell by looking at you and your incredible partner that it has gotten up in you.
Yeah.
And you exude light.
Absolutely. You mentioned nanotechnology.
Yes.
Just a plethora of things that it's providing. Tell me about that. Because I haven't
So
heard,
glad
I haven't
you
heard
asked.
about that at all.
And if I had had more time, we would have gone right into that.
We could do a whole seminar
Oh
on
my
nanotech.
God. So believe it. On the nano scale, and a nano
Nano scale.
I was a run-on sentence, sorry. On the nano scale,
Okay.
keep in mind that a nanometer is 1/1000th of a meter. So when I go like this, It's about as much as my pinky fingernail grew. That's how small the nanoscale is. Now, we didn't know what I'm about to tell you about hemp 25 years ago. Why? We didn't have technology that it could even see things on the nanoscale a quarter of a century ago. Now we do, and guess what we have discovered? The biocellulose of hemp cellulose has tensile strength and surface area second only to carbon nanotubes and graphite whiskers, which on an R&D exactly, which these materials are cost prohibitive just to do R&D on, to say nothing to make products that everyday mortals like you and I could buy on the shelves of our grocery store or department stores. This is a major game changer. We're talking superior to graphene, this fast-growing, renewable biocellulose resource. So, and that's what we mean by its effects on nanotechnology. So, and what is nanotechnology? Nanotechnology is basically mimicking systems in nature, but on the nanoscale. So I'll give you a quick example, and that is that a lotus plant it's in the water. A lotus leaf sits in the water, okay? And we noticed that lotus leaf is always clean. How can it be clean? Sometimes it lives in muddy, gunky sort of water areas. Well, it's because there are these microscopic, on the nanoscale, what you see, very small, are these little tiny waxy protrusions that are on the entire surface of the plant. This allows for water droplets to not sink into the plant, but sort of to roll around. And I think, if you've seen a lotus flower, it does a little bit of a concave at the bottom.
Sure.
So the moisture sort of rolls around, collecting dirt, collecting dust, and cleaning it. Okay, so how does that mean for nanotechnology?
It's like a Roomba.
Yes. So let's talk about material or textile that they call absorbent friendly. So I can spill a coffee, stain resistant. That's the word I'm looking for. So now we'll apply the lotus flower to this. So what they do is they take little microscopic pieces of glass on the textile, and they actually paint the textile with these very tiny microscopic pieces of glass, believe it or not. And then those textiles are then sent to manufacturers to be made into garments. But that's why it's stain resistant. It's mimicking that technology. So you spill some drops of red wine, and those little tiny that you can't even see or feel on your body make it so that instead of soaking in, they bubble off, just like that. So that's just one example of nanotechnology. And because of the incredible properties of hemp on that nanoscale, or what we would call its nanocellulose, and in Canada they call them nanocrystals. There's already a plant up to harvest these nanocrystals. It's just a total game changer that it's superior to graphene. And keep in mind, as an even better example specific to hemp is supercapacitors and energy storage. So when we think of supercapacitors, think monorail. So a system that can store tons of energy at once while also releasing it.
Yes.
So these are very expensive systems to make, and we are discovering that in terms of energy storage, batteries, supercapacitors, the nanocrystals of hemp is going to be superior and also far better for the planet and far more cost effective.
Certainly more organic option for battery power, essentially.
Yes.
Man, is there anything this plant can't do?
If I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Awesome.
Because the things that we even think it can't do, the next thing you know, it can. There's technology available that it can do it. And even I have seen people make batteries out of hempcrete blocks with a couple of different additives. There was a gentleman at the Canadian Hemp Trade Alliance conference a couple of years ago, and he was charging everybody's laptops and cell phones from his. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. And when it's right in front of your eyes, some basic thing that basically almost a caveman could put together.
Yes.
It's a game changer. So think a hempcrete home that our walls can be a source of energy while protecting us from EMF and other radio frequencies. So it's just such a game changer.
It's beautiful. On the count of three, you want to look at the camera and say, buy hemp?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Buy hemp! Did I look at the camera? Okay. I looked at the light. Did you look at the light or the camera?
I looked at all of them.
Okay, all right. And then I must have done it right. And tell me where to look.
This little lens right
Okay, let's do that one. Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Buy hemp!
Hit that berry, baby.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I
didn't, but I loved it and I soaked it in. But really, what was so inspiring is the truth. You know, she packages it in a way that's like, fuck yeah, all day long. I'm in. But the truth is that hemp is a superior substance for so many things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hemp is this beautiful plant that can sustain us. I mean, hemp protein, you know, the omega-3s. I mean, now I hear Riley Cote's voice in my head talking about the omega-3s and the omega-6s and da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? It's Joy said this. We're, as like in the 5 minutes that we meet, we're already just like, oh my God, this is so awesome. She's like, the plant got in you.
Yeah.
Like, and that, if you're a human
Got
being.
up in you, I think.
Yeah, plant got up in you.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. And if you're a human and you open your eyes and you can read and you start to really, I think, peel back the onion on hemp and on why the information's not out there, because I think a lot of really, you know, smart people that we that are in our, you know, that are our friends in our network that aren't necessarily a part of the cannabis space, their main question is, why don't we have access to this information? You know, this is awesome. You know, I happen to be just an example, right? I happen to be an investor in tech, Liz. Why don't I have access to this information?
Right.
That is the question, you know, that we must ask, and that's, you know, we got to seek those answers.
Right.
I think, and we don't like those answers.
Right.
You know, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, really, these facts are out there, but they're withheld from us because of some bullshit laws and bullshit systems. And, you know, man, there's a lot to unpack. But
it is just education, you know, and that's
education.
what's so fun about what we got to do in New Orleans. We got to show people like her and other people. Who else did we? And I mean, we got to show so many people's stories that were inspired.
Oh yeah, so many people's stories. We talked to, of course, Marvin Washington, Joy Beckerman. Oh my God, the Cannabis Doing Good crew.
Yes.
Just
listen.
No, they're so good. Yes. And just listen. And they're so great. And they're so fired up. Kelly Perez. We were connected to Kelly. She was the president and founder of Kind Colorado. And now she is doing Cannabis Doing Good. So Kelly, Courtney, John. And they're just really all about helping businesses, helping organizations do good from the beginning. So what does that mean? We're starting a business. We're starting a cannabis business. They're only working with cannabis businesses, obviously. We're starting a cannabis business. We need our freaking accountant. We need our payroll people. We need our space. There are so many things that you need to run any business, and then add cannabis on top of it. And, you know, hello, you're in for a really fun time. Well, her company comes in early on and consults about, you know, essentially, I imagine every facet of, you know, these decisions, and not in a way that's not super uplifting and awesome, right? They are super uplifting and awesome. They also have their eyes towards social impact, always.
Yeah.
And good. All right, we're here at MJ BizCon next in NOLA with new friends.
Hey, I'm John Shute with Cannabis Doing Good.
I'm Courtney Mathis with Cannabis Doing Good.
Kelly Perez, Cannabis Doing Good.
So there's a lot of cannabis doing good around here.
Yeah.
What is Cannabis Doing Good?
Yes, so we're an opportunity for businesses to do good, and then we create lots of space for them to brag about it.
Awesome.
And when we say good, we mean environmental sustainability, we mean working with the community, we mean race and equity and justice, all of the good that's possible. We've got to break the barriers down between community and cannabis. There's a lot of work to do.
Yeah, now we're even realizing that it's reflecting on social media, marketing analytics, and also like ROI for members of the cannabis community that are involved with Cannabis Doing Good program.
That's awesome. And I like ROI, being able to tie ROI from any marketing campaign. It's just so hard to do. I mean,
So
it sounds
hard.
like you guys are really plugged in into what's working, what's not, and what's resonating with the community.
Yes.
You know.
Well, what's really fun we know is that 78% of customers will switch brands of a similar quality if that brand is supporting a good cause. And then 80% of customers will pay more for a brand that supports a good cause. So we feel like we're really solving a problem in the cannabis industry, which is if you're doing good, talk about it. And we want you to talk about it because we want other people to do it, and we want your customers and your partners to know that you're doing it.
And we have a special responsibility. Our narrative is horrible. The war on drugs is not a story any of us want to tell.
No.
So let's take this narrative and make it something that we can be really proud that we made sure communities benefited from this cultural sea change. We're able to move the conversation forward and bring people who didn't even know they were part of our community into the community.
Yes, people who didn't even know they were part of the community. That's awesome. I mean, that's, I think, where we fit for a long time. We're in Austin, Texas. We're cannabis advocates. We're very secretive about our cannabis advocacy.
You have to be.
It's like scary.
Yeah, it is scary. And so there are so many people who don't know that they're a part of this community, and who could, you know, we're stronger together, right?
We are stronger together.
Yeah.
Cannabis together, that's what we say.
Really?
Yes, we say
Yep.
cannabis together. And part of it
awesome.
is one of the things we do is we're doing events, right? We have an event tonight that we're doing. We are doing awards in the fall to award those companies that are doing amazing things. And we hope that we're going to change the way businesses operate.
Those
create
events
business
are
practice.
party with a purpose, right? So we're benefiting local New Orleans organizations. When you come to town, especially a place like it's where it's illegal, you make sure you are putting. We are not dirty drug dealers. I prefer money launder. No, we're community members. We want folks to have access to medicine. We want people to have access to fresh food. We want jobs. We want farms renewed. We want environmental sustainable practices. This should be something that has shared benefit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So where can everyone find you?
CannabisDoingGood.com, and all of our social media handles are at CDG Socials. And on top of all of this, we're also providing a platform for people to submit their Cannabis Doing Good stories. So we encourage anyone all over the world to go to our website, and we have actually a section where you can tell your Cannabis Doing Good story and how it's changed your life, or how you use the plant in your business to benefit the community and others. So
I love it. I love it.
We do
You guys.
expungement. We do forward-thinking policy. I mean, this is a racial and equitable opportunity, and for us to take the potential of now and not do something amazing with it would really
Right.
be.
Thank you guys for everything
yeah,
you're
thank
doing.
you. Thank you for
We're gonna
having
follow
us.
your journey, and yeah, I can't wait to see what's next.
Yes,
So,
yes.
and can't wait for the party.
Yeah, we'll see you
Tonight,
tonight.
right?
We'll see you guys
Party
tonight.
for good. Party for
for
good.
good.
Yeah.
Let's do a little.
Yay.
Isn't that so awesome?
Yeah.
Like I keep saying it, but there's people really care about it. You know,
Yes.
they're trying to keep this business pure through that.
Yes.
If we can do that, then we have corporatization. It's going to happen, whatever. But
Yeah.
if we can protect that, if we can give social justice back with this plant, I mean, we are starting to heal the hearts. You know what I mean? And these are the planetary changes that we're talking about
Yeah.
with this plant. It's that big, and we have to think about it that way.
We do. We
You
do.
know?
We do. And it is almost overwhelming when you think about just this plant and all of the industries. And then what we're doing is trying to, what we are doing.
Shining a light on it.
Telling the story.
Yeah.
You know, I like shining a light on because we meet so many badass lighting companies.
Yeah.
and grow houses and indoor grows. And lighting is really a big thing about this industry and about our industry, entertainment.
Yeah, we're
better
surrounded by
lighting,
it.
the better we look. Hey, I didn't wash my face this morning. Hey, so what?
Big deal.
Turn on that lighting, put on a filter. We'll be good. So that is what we're doing, is shining a light on this industry and into this industry just kind of from an next door neighbor perspective.
Yep.
You know, like these are conversations that we have with our people next door and people around the world.
Yeah.
And, you know, on our High Times channel, and which we are season 2 coming at you soon for our High Times. But, you know, those are the conversations that we're having on all these platforms. And it's really, really cool to be able to do that. You know, so.
Real quick with the Cannabis Doing Good crew was also John
Shoot.
John Shoot, and he just
like Dwight.
Yeah, he's an amazing person. He does cannabis PR, and he's just a brain.
Puff Creative.
He's just Puff Creative, and
he's out of Denver, based out of Denver, doing some amazing things in cannabis. And just a cool personal story. He and his wife, they were like best buds in high school too.
Yeah.
They were roll dogs.
So we had something in common.
And what's funny about them, and they should tell their own story, but they also have this cannabis romance, you know. And cannabis romance is a term that I learned from a dear couple of ours. We love them so much, Mary and Carlos.
Oh yes.
Newlyweds. They were doing big things in cannabis and hemp. Oh my God, huge things in hemp. And we were talking yesterday about, you know, the stuff that we have going on. And she said that, you know, that we have a cannabis romance and we need to tell it.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just like, girl, I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you can use that.
Cannabis romance.
But they have a cannabis romance. And yeah, man, cool people. We met some really badass people in NOLA.
Yeah.
We got to hang with some old friends too, you know.
Totally.
Derek Smith.
Yes.
I, for the life of me, cannot remember his company name. Sorry, Derek.
Yeah.
We can edit it back in. Lower thirds. Derek Smith. But he came to our South by party.
Yes.
So that was awesome.
It was so cool how he like told about, I went to this awesome cannabis party.
In Austin.
And I actually wasn't there for it. It was you, right?
He didn't even say South by. He said, oh, dude. Because when he asked where I was from. Sorry, that blueberry really hits good.
Woo.
I told him Austin. And he was like, oh, man, I went to this badass cannabis party in Austin. And I was like, at South by, that was my party. He was like, oh, my God. And we hugged. He was like, yes. What's funny about that party, guys, is that we put it on, and you know, it was really a testament to if you're doing the right thing, if you're following your heart, if you are just pouring your passion into something that you know will do good, things come together. And that party was an amazing. It was a universal gift.
Yeah.
It was magical. And so my question to him after we hugged, I asked him, so tell me about that party. You know, because I love to get feedback from everybody who was there. And we're going to be talking about this party for years. And it's
had a boomerang effect for our career.
It really has. It really has. And it's my hope, too, that, like, these stories will just morph, you know, and we're all, like, now we are. So many of us are all doing business together. We saw Jason Newman in NOLA. Jason Newman was also at the party.
What?
Yes, Jason and his wife. We talked to them at the bar first night. It'll come back to you. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Cannabis. First night. Yeah, we were talking about
Jason Newman?
Jason Newman. He's a lawyer. And
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Jason Newman who played our wedding.
oh my God.
Sorry, that's Jason.
Wow,
that's Jason
buddy.
Newman to me. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. We know another Jason Newman.
We have two amazing Jason Newmans in our lives.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And
Yes.
I'm just really feeling the abundance, okay,
Right.
of Jason Newman, and I love it. But yeah, he was there, and he told us about the party too. But, you know, it was really just this magical, he told me, and the people around us, you know, who we were talking with, Shauna was a part of that group, and hearing about this party for the first time. And he said, you know, you walk into this courtyard and you instantly realize you're in this magical space. And it was just like, yes, yes. It was magical. Everything about it was magical. Yeah. I think of the day, and I knew it would be. In that morning that I woke up, I just knew it was a magical day.
Yeah.
And it was like, great. It's great that people
It was
feel
fun.
that way too.
It was fun. I mean, we just had every speaker come and we hosted, you know, and I think that was a really awesome role for us to be in, hosting. You know, I think we just took it. We took the reins and said, we're having this party. And so we made sure that everyone who walked in felt welcomed, knew what was up, and was connecting, networking. You know what I mean? A party. You know, we got that NOLA spirit.
We got that NOLA.
But we did it in ATX.
Yeah. No, there's something NOLA about that house.
Yeah. It's old sort of house. Yeah.
What did you think?
You were there with us.
Something NOLA about that house. Oof, that porch. Conversations that happened on that porch.
Whew. let's talk about who else we interviewed.
Well, Jennifer M.
Yeah.
Jewelry. We didn't get to interview her formally, but it was just great to connect with her. And I say finally because I feel like I know her a little bit. I followed her story and, followed her through Instagram and saw her piece. She has this bling, 2 carats, okay, white gold, indica leaf choker. Okay. You see this from afar and you're just like, and then you see her and she's just beautiful, And I just, it was great to see her and to talk to her and be like, thank you.
You seemed a little like starstruck almost because you really love her art. I mean, you're a fan of people. You're a fan of artists.
I am a fan of artists,
and that is what I loved seeing about when you finally saw her, because you think what she does is brilliant.
Yeah, and that's my thing too. Like I'll be a fan, and I'm a fan of an artist, and it's like I want to know your story, and I kind of want to get to know you, and then I don't really have a problem like dropping some cash.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it's about for me. Is this story? Is this I want a piece?
Yeah.
And she does that, and I recognize that, and then. Steve D'Angelo is a fan of her stuff. We're just like, he's, as any cannabis advocate is, we just really admire and respect him. And so it's like, it was very cool to see her and meet her.
Yeah.
And I was like, honey, I want you to meet her. Honey, she's a jeweler.
Yeah.
Honey, she does weed jewelry.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
I might need this.
Yes. I mean, you're very good at working with jewelers on really cool things.
Yeah.
You've got a special mind for that stuff.
Listen.
For stones.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I'm liking it. Might have already been dreaming up some things. Yes. Whiteboarding some late night jewelry designs.
Yes. We've got to mention and hashtag so I can keep nudging.
Ooh.
So I think maybe we should get to going.
Yeah.
I got some work to do. I got so much work to do.
We got work to do, y'all.
More work to do, y'all. Oh, this was so much fun.
All right. Bye.
Cool.